What's up guys, it's your boy Ethan, hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today, interesting one. It's January 24th, nice little Friday night, and we got here around 8 p.m, so action's going on. I wanted to play, so right now, while I was driving, I put myself on the 2-5 and 5-10 list because my schedule so far has been super monotonous, and I don't know, I feel like poker has been very monotonous for me, and I want to break out of that, so I wanted to play just a little bit bigger today. But as I'm driving over here, I thought about this one specific hand from last video where I folded a straight on a flush and paired board, and I folded it, and I just thought, can I ever make that fold at 5-10 for like $1,000 or for a couple $100? And I don't know what it is, but I don't think I can. If you haven't seen that video yet, or the last video, go ahead and click on it. But I thought about that specific hand, and for some reason I just didn't think I could make that fold at 5-10. I think like if I have a straight at 5-10, my mentality is I'm gonna have to go with it instead of just slowing down, reprocessing the hand and break it down like I normally would at 1-3. So I'm on the 5-10 list. I don't think I'm gonna play 5-10. I'm on the 2-5 list. I might play 2-5, but we're gonna see what's available when we get there. Who knows? But that was what I was thinking. I don't know, but wish us luck. It's Friday night. Let's get it. The first interesting hand of note when we hop into the 2-5 game, we have ace-king offsuit in the small blind, 700 in our stack. That is the maximum that you can buy in for. Middle position player opens it up to $20, folds all the way back to me. Here, going to be 3-betting ace-king offsuit all the time here. So I go with a sizing of $70, and he makes the call. I've seen him defend against a lot of 3-bets, so expecting him to call a lot of the time. Let's go to a flop. Flop comes 6-7 jack rainbow. Here I'm going to down bet to $55. There's a bunch of draws out there that could call, but realistically I think most hands besides 8-9 and jack X hands, they're going to be folding a lot. So down bet to 55, hopefully take it down, but he thinks about it and makes the call, so still sticking with it. Let's go to a turn. Turn comes a queen. Here, planning to size up a bit to about 150. I do improve to a gutter ball along with our 2 overcards, and the queen obviously hits our range a lot more than his as a 3-better. So I go ahead and bet, but kind of screwed up here. I messed up and only put out 5 green chips, so bet $125. He thinks about it. It's really weird also because he only has $300 in his stack total. So if he calls here, it seems like he's going to be committed to call a river, bet whatever it may be for his whole stack, but he thinks for a while and ends up folding, so we get that one through. Just, I don't really love this play at all, but we got it through. The second hit we'll go over, we have ace-king of diamonds in the small blind, and middle position player opens it up to $20. Folds to me, going to be 3-betting this once again all the time. I go ahead with a sizing of $70, and he makes the call. Off to a flop, which comes queen, deuce, 3, 2 diamonds out there, so 2 overs and the nut flush draw. Pretty good flop for us. Here, going to be c-betting this 100% of the time. I go with a sizing of $100. He thinks for a little bit and makes the call. Off to a turn, which comes the 8 of spades. It brings in a backdoor spade draw as well. And here, just going to be ramping up the pressure here and just continue firing. I think a lot of the time I could sometimes just try to pot control a little bit and obviously going into check call mode. But in this instance, I wanted to barrel and go for it. So we go ahead with a sizing of $250. He thinks about it for a little bit and ends up still making the call. So we're off to a river. The river comes another queen, which is pretty interesting. Putting him on hands like queen X or maybe under pairs like pocket jacks, pocket tens. I think that if I jam in this spot and I have to fire a 3rd barrel, he's either going to be snap calling or snap folding with the hands that I think that he could have. Either missed diamonds, pocket tens, pocket jacks, or just a queen X hand that's going to be snap calling me all the time. So I think about it, I think a lower sizing would work, probably betting like $200, since I think that he's either going to snap call or snap fold. But at the end of the day, I went for maximum pressure. I jam my entire stack in, he snap calls, and we lose against ace-queen offsuit. So that was a punt for sure. Did not have to lose my entire stack there on the river, but he had it, and we lose a fairly significant part of our buy-in, which means all of it. On to bullet number 2. This hand, we have 8-9 of hearts in the hijack, about $750 in our stack. There's a limper to me. I raise it up to $25, and action ensues as 4 people make the call. We are off to a flop, which comes queen, queen, 10, 2 spades out there. We flop a gutter ball, and that's all we got going for us. So when action checks to me, I'm just going to check, and action checks around. Turn comes the 9 of diamonds, brings in a backdoor flush draw with the diamonds, and once again it checks to me. Picking up a pair, I think I can get a lot of value from Jack X's or flush draws, so there's actually a decent amount out there that I can get value from. So I put out a pretty tiny blocker value bet of $40. We get 2 callers as a button and one of the limpers make the call. So we're off to a river. River comes another 9, so we improve to a boat. 9's full of queens, and a limper checks to me. Here, middle position, like what can I really get value from? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe a 10 if we were behind, but realistically we're chopping against any 9, and we just literally get folds from like all the hands that we would possibly beat. So I'm hoping that the button would try to steal this one and bluff. So I put in a check, and the button checks it back pretty quickly. The limper shows a 10, and we show our 9 and we're good. So maybe I could have gotten like a $50 worth of value on the river, but I think the best way to maximize the amount of money we'd make is just to give this button player the opportunity to bluff and see what happens. Hand after that, we have 9, 10 of hearts in the hijack, and an early position player opens it up to $15. Really small sizing, basically like we're playing 1-3 again, but I'm not going to be 3-betting this spot, even though I probably would a lot of the time. I call, the button and the big blind make the call, so we're off to a flop 4 ways. Flop comes 6, 7, 4, 2 clubs out there, so we flop a gutter ball. Action checks all the way around, which is nice. Love to see a free card. Free card comes the 8 of hearts, so banked that. We got the nuts, and the big blind actually leads out for $30. Action folds to me, and obviously going to be putting in the raise here when we hit our gutter ball. I go ahead and put the raise, standard 3x sizing to $90. I thought about going a little bit bigger, maybe 115, 120, 4xing it, but $90, just wanted to go with the standard line. So raise to 90, and he thinks about it and makes the call. So we're off to a river heads up. River comes a 7 of hearts. He checks to me, and how much value can I get from hands that maybe have 2 pair now, or trip 7s maybe, or really just a 5 is really all I can get value from. Going to bet a little bit smaller because I don't think a ton of hands can call a river value bet. So go with the sizing of $110, praying for a call. Hopefully we can make some money. He thinks about it, lays it down, and we don't get any more money from that. Quick little interruption here, just going to be talking about the sponsor of this video, my club on Poker Bros. If you want to play some online poker online, download the app Poker Bros on the App Store or Google Play Store, and you can join my club ID in these numbers right here. You know, I've talked about it a bunch before. There's a bunch of large tournaments, a bunch of cash games. It's probably one of the best places for action that you can find playing just on your phone here. And also, huge shout out to my boy Nate. It's been a long time coming, much deserved because he's cashed in a ton of tournaments so far. So let's go over some of his recent cashes. First place for $961. I believe this was one of those $5 tournaments that he just kind of crushed, and it's a 1K guarantee, but obviously first place went all the way up to the guarantee, which is pretty crazy. Next, he won another one for $500, just another $5 tournament that you can just turn $5 into a whole lot of money if you bink it. Then he cashed again, second place for $376. After that, another second place finish for $500, and last but not least, a big one, third place for $3,100. Shout out to Tater Time, shout out to Nate. Thanks for playing, and nice cashes. If you have any interest at all, go ahead and check out my club. It's the club ID right there. If you want more information after you join and how to play and how everything works, just shoot me a text on that club ID. You'll see it. The club line number is posted, so you can reach me there, ask any questions. Also, shoot me an email as well, and we'll continue on to the video. Next hand is Ace King offsuit in the cutoff. Under the gun opens it up to $20. Under the gun +1, it makes the call. Here I 3-bet to $90, and both of them call pretty quickly. So off to a flop, let's see what happens. Flop comes 5, 7, deuce, 2 diamonds out there, absolute whiff city. And action checks to me, not really going to be bluffing into 2 other players right now. Don't feel like it, so I'm just going to check. The turn comes the 6 of diamonds, we're totally done with this hand now. The under the gun player bets $175, the under the gun +1 folds. And here, not going to be doing anything but folding. If you couldn't tell by the title, there's a theme to this video, because hand number 6, Ace King offsuit, once again in the small blind, just really getting Ace King in the worst position here. Early position player opens it up to $15, late position makes the call. Here, out of position, gonna be 3-betting. I go with the sizing of $70 once again. Only the early position who pre-flop raised calls. So we're off to a flop. Flop comes queen high. It is queen 7-5, 3 clubs. We do have the king of clubs, and here I'm going to be down betting $55 in this spot. Feel like a C bet is probably best here, especially with the second nut flush draw and 2 overs. So I bet $55. He has about $300 in his stack, so I'm probably just going to jam turn and just polarize myself a little bit there. But we don't get that option because he raises to $200. Oh, $200 raise with $100 behind. It's not really a whole lot of decision to make here. It's either just a jam, or do we really want to go with our 2 overs and a second nut flush draw, or do we just fold? At the end of the day, now that I think about it, I think a fold's a little too weak in this spot because we do have a pretty strong hand, but I just didn't think that he was doing this light ever. And maybe we're probably dominated sometimes with an ace high flush draw. Regardless, I lay it down, I let it go. Didn't want to put the extra $250 in the middle to put them all in because obviously calling $200 is kind of dumb with $100 behind. So I ended up folding. I'm not really sure about this one, honestly, now that I look at it, but that's just what I did at the time. Next hand, you guessed it, it's damn right, ace-king offsuit, once again, under the gun. Out of the position every single time. I opened things up to $20, and we get 2 callers in position, so we're off to a flop. Flop comes ace, queen, 4, 2 clubs out there. Finally, we flopped a pair with ace-king, oh my goodness. I bet $55. The hijack makes the call. We get a button who's pretty big stacked. He actually raises to $250. I do not feel great about this spot. Out of position with top on a board that he can definitely have some 2 pairs on because he's been playing so active. He's been playing very active, but he's also been playing a lot for value, so this raise is literally nothing but for value. So hands that I beat here would just be ace-jack or jack-10 of clubs, king-jack of clubs, but I don't think he's semi-bluffing like I said, so it's definitely for value. He already has a hand right now on this flop. So ace-king is just not really good here a lot of the time, I don't think, against this specific player type. So like what? He has ace-queen, ace-4, and maybe ace-king sometimes for a chop, but he didn't 3-bet, so not really going to be putting on ace-king. At the end of the day, I think about it for a while and end up folding. Just didn't want to commit my whole stack because he raised such a large amount. Like I think we're probably just going to have to jam it all in, but that wasn't something that I wanted to do. So I fold, the other player folds, and the button shows ace-king. So we would have been chopping, we lose. Just what it is what it is. The last hand that we will go over today in this video, we have pocket 8s in the small blind. There are 3 limpers to me. Here's, once again, out of position in the small blind. I could put $5 more or whatever it is, $3 more, but I'm going to go ahead and take the aggressor route and raise to $40. We get 2 callers in middle position and the button. So off to a flop. Flop comes ace, queen, queen, 2 hearts out there. We have a pair, but this board favors us a ton. So let's just try to bluff our way and just take down the pot. I go ahead and c-bet $60. We get 1 caller on the button, so bluff does not get through, unfortunately, but we're hoping to see 2 cards and see what happens. So turn comes the 10 of clubs, a card that does not help us at all. We check, he checks it back. The river comes a 2 of hearts. Once again, like once I take this line of checking on the turn, I'm just going to go to showdown here, hopefully. I check, and he checks it back, and he has ace, deuce, offsuit. He called $40 in position with ace, deuce, offsuit. I lied. The last hand that we'll go over is this one, but not a lot happened because I put this on my Instagram. Not really a hand that happened, but just wanted to share it because this was a painful session. I'm under the gun with jack 7 of spades. We open, muck that hand. Flop comes, you'll see it on the screen, 8, 9, 10, all spades. That is unfortunate because there was a $1,000 high hand bonus every hour. We easily would have taken that down with a jack high straight flush, but we folded under the gun. Just wasn't running great this session, and that one was a great way to cap it off. So today was super frustrating. Didn't even play for a while. Tried to mix things up at 2-5, and man, the game was so good. But I played for 4.5 hours and I flopped 2 pairs the whole time. I flopped 2 pairs and that was it. out of all the hands I played in 4.5 hours. And the game was good. We had a guy that was opening, it was a straddled pot, so it was like 2-5-10. Guy just opens it up to 130 with king queen suited. And he was doing this consistently. He was 3-betting with ace deuce offsuit. He called a 4-bet jam. The 4-bet jammer had 9-10 of diamonds, and he had ace deuce offsuit. And ace deuce wins with an ace high flop. So the game was so good. The guy left. That guy left with 3K in his stack just now, and game broke, obviously. So we're not happy about that. We were in the game for 1,600 and we cashed out 670. So loss of not even that much in terms of buy-ins, because that was like 1 and 1.25 buy-ins or whatever it was. So not significant, but money, yeah, unfortunate. I didn't have to stack off with ace king there, I guess. Not necessarily, I don't think. But that's about it. I didn't really lose that much compared to the 2-5 game. Like, I mean, I'm just gonna assume for higher variance and all of that. So not fun losing $900, but I just didn't, the cards weren't in it for me today. And it is what it is. So that's it. So that's the session. And we got a car that just won't show up. Thanks. So that's I have nothing more to say. That's kind of the outro. I'll probably play more 2-5, a lot more action. Just need to flop even like a pair. The only, like like I said, I flopped 2 pairs the whole night, and I had ace king 6 times, and I flopped a pair with ace king, and I folded. And I thought that was a good fold. Ace queen 4, 2 clubs. I mean, yeah, there's like a flush draw out there, but I don't think this individual was raising light at all. Definitely raising for value, and ace 4, ace queen are definitely in his range, and I don't think he overplays ace jack, like I said. So I like my ace king fold on the ace high flop. Just annoying that I mean, we would have chopped, so it's not like it mattered that much. But man, today was rough for me. So you'll probably see a little bit more 2-5 from me. You also might see a decline in uploads, because personally, I'm just getting a little burnt out with playing poker. I'm probably going to have to scale back just a little bit, probably going to upload 2 times a week. But if you do still see me upload 3 times a week next week, then great news. Just wanted to give you a heads up. I might be uploading 2 times a week. We'll see, Monday, Wednesday kind of thing, or really whenever. Like I said, just going to be just gonna have to scale back on the number of sessions I play, because I'm just not really feeling it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you guys following along, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.